Today, we are going to break down an idea that could completely reshape your life. And not with some huge, dramatic overhaul, but with the smallest, tiniest steps imaginable. We're talking about the power of atomic habits. So, let's start with this absolute gem from the author James Clear. The idea here is that your goals are kind of useless without the right systems in place. You can want to be fit all you want, but it's your system, your daily routine that actually gets you there. This is the bedrock for everything we're about to explore. So think about it. That gap between the person you dream of being and the person you are right now, what if that's not some giant uncrossable canyon? What if it's just a wall built brick by brick from all those tiny automatic things you do every day? That's the wall we're going to learn how to take apart and rebuild. All right, so how on earth can something so small make any real difference? It sounds too good to be true, right? Well, let's get into the incredible, almost magical math of getting just 1% better every day. And to really see this in the real world, you've got to hear the story of the British cycling team. For 100 years, these guys were, well, they were a joke. So unremarkable that one of the top bike manufacturers flat out refused to sell them bikes. They were afraid it would make their brand look bad. Ouch. Then in 2003, this new coach, Dave Brailsford, comes in with this wild idea he called the aggregation of marginal gains. The philosophy was simple. If you just improve everything by 1%, those gains will add up to something huge. And I mean, they improved everything. The bike seats, the grip on the tires, the massage gels the riders used. They even painted the inside of their team truck white just so they could spot tiny bits of dust that might mess with the bike mechanics. And the result? Just 5 years later, this team went from being a laughingstock to utterly dominating the sport, winning Olympic golds and the Tour de France. It was incredible. And it all came back to this tiny number, 1%. It looks like nothing, but trust me, this is where the real power is hidden. This is the beauty of compounding. It's just like money in a bank account earning interest. Your habits build on themselves. Doing one push-up today feels pointless, but doing one push-up every day for a year, that builds real strength. Reading one page of a book is nothing, but one page every night, that builds a mountain of knowledge. It's these tiny, consistent actions that let you build a completely new you. So how do these habits even get wired into our brains in the first place? It's not magic, it's a science. There's actually a super simple 4-step pattern that runs every single habit you have, whether it's good or bad. So here's the loop. First, you've got the cue. That's the trigger that kicks the whole thing off. The cue creates a craving, which is that urge or desire you feel. That craving leads to the response. That's the actual habit. And finally, you get the reward, which is the satisfying feeling that tells your brain, oh yeah, that was good. Remember that and do it again. Let's use an example we all know too well, the phone. The cue, your phone buzzes or lights up. Instantly, you get the craving, that little itch of, ooh, I wonder what that is. The response, you grab your phone. And the reward is that tiny hit of information or social connection. That little reward closes the loop and basically guarantees you'll do the exact same thing next time. Okay, so we've got the science down. Now for the fun part. How do we actually use this knowledge to build the good habits we want? Let's look at 2 super practical techniques you can literally start using the second this is over. First up, this idea is so simple it's genius. It's called habit stacking. Think about it. You already have dozens of habits you do every single day on autopilot. So instead of trying to remember a brand new habit out of thin air, you just stack it on top of one you already have. You piggyback on the momentum. So the formula is just, after my current habit, I will do my new habit. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will do 5 push-ups. Or after I brush my teeth at night, I will read 1 page from a book. You see? The cue to do the new thing is already hardwired into your daily routine. It's so much easier. Okay, our next strategy is a total game changer, environment design. The core idea here is that willpower is, frankly, overrated. We are all powerfully influenced by the spaces we live and work in. So instead of trying to force yourself to do things, you just tweak your environment to make the good habits the easiest option. It's really simple when you think about it. If you want to eat healthier, stop leaving junk food out on the counter where you can see it. Put a bowl of fresh fruit there instead. If you want to read more, don't leave your phone on your desk. Put a book in its place. You're just making the cues for your good habits totally obvious and making the cues for your bad habits invisible. And of course, this whole process works in reverse. Just like we can build good habits by making them easy and obvious, we can break bad habits by doing the exact opposite. We can just invert the rules. So to break a bad habit, we just flip the whole script. First, make the cue invisible. Get the junk food out of the house, delete the distracting app off your phone's home screen. Second, make the craving unattractive. Keep reminding yourself of why you want to stop. Third, and this is a big one, make the response difficult. Add some friction. If you want to waste less time on social media, log out every time you're done. Just having to type in your password again can be enough to stop you. And finally, make the reward unsatisfying. Find an accountability partner and tell them you'll owe them $20 every time you slip up. That'll make it less fun. Now, all these strategies and tactics are great, but they all lead up to what is, for my money, the most powerful idea in the whole book. This is where we stop focusing so much on what we do and start focusing on who we want to become. You want to know the real secret to making change last? It's this: the most powerful form of motivation isn't a goal or reward, it's your sense of identity. Because once a habit becomes a part of who you believe you are, you don't have to fight for it anymore. You're just being you. Just look at the difference here. Goal-based thinking says, I want to run a marathon. But identity-based thinking says, I am a runner. And what do runners do? They run. It's just who they are. The goal isn't just to write a book. The goal is to be a writer. And every single time you sit down and write, even just one sentence, you are casting a vote for that new identity. And that just sums it all up so perfectly, doesn't it? Real, lasting change doesn't come from some massive explosion of willpower that fizzles out in a week. It comes from these small, simple, daily steps taken over and over, pointing you in the direction you want to go. And that brings us to the only question that really matters. After all this, what's it going to be? What is your one new habits? What is the tiny 1% improvement that you are going to start today to cast a vote for the person you want to become?